Hello, I'm Lou Brutus with more from Backstage at Rockfest in Cadott, Wisconsin. Tony from StaticX joins me now. It's good to see you again, man. How you been?
Doing all right, man.
Well, I would have to think that this tour you have put together is the definition of bittersweet.
Absolutely, yeah. A lot of crying.
Yeah. Tell me about how it came together and what was easy and what was hard.
Well, it kind of came together with just the. It just kind of started with the notion of, I didn't feel that Wayne got the proper send off, and so I thought, why only do one show? Wayne had fans everywhere.
Yeah.
So why not do this for all his fans and give everyone a chance to, pay their respects to Wayne. So that's how it kind of conceptualized in my head.
And then how do you go about, putting the band back together and putting a tour back together? Because it's one thing to say, yeah, we should go out and do some shows. It's an entirely different thing to actually go out and make it happen.
Yeah, just putting everything together, getting all the material, all the equipment, because a lot of stuff was lost and gone, So yeah, that was a bit of a process. But the real easy part was just getting Kenny and Koichi back in, and when we first got into the studio to actually play these songs, it came back like that, man.
And is it like a muscle memory for somebody?
Yeah, it really was, man. It was just like we'd never stopped playing. It was crazy. Yeah.
What is it about certain musicians? I mean, sometimes people play together and they play really well. They can walk away from one another for many years and they get back together again and it works fine. Whereas sometimes great musicians get together, but when they try and gel as a band, it never happens. Can you explain that to non-musicians, how that works?
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just like, you either have chemistry or you don't. And that's a really hard thing to find. Not only because you got to have that chemistry as musicians, when you're playing together, but then, you're out on tour and you're basically living in a tube with these guys, and so you got to have that kind of chemistry.
That's where the trouble starts.
Yeah, and I noticed that a lot back when we started out in '99 and 2000. Like a lot of the bands that we toured with, in like 2-3 years, they had broken up because they just can't get along.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a big part of it too. And luckily, we're all on the same level of boneheadedness that we all get along. So.
Same level of boneheadedness should actually be a song title somewhere for somebody. Yeah. So please, somebody do something with that.
If you don't, I will.
If you would be so kind, can you tell me one really good anecdote, one really fun story about Wayne?
Well, what's really cool, or what's been really cool about this tour is like, before or after the show, the three of us will be in the dressing room, and like some random, memory will pop back up, and it was I think like week 2 of the tour, and we were all on stage handing out pics and shaking hands and doing all that stuff, and I smacked Kenny on the nose, and that instantly brought back a memory that I had. Of one of the early shows where first song into the set, and I did this Gene Simmons thing, and I knocked my head up,
yeah.
And I felt it hit something, and then I look over, and Wayne's looking at me, and I see the tooth fall out of his mouth.
Oh!
And he shakes his head at me, and he just runs back to the dressing room. So we finish the song, and then we go back to the dressing room, and after about 5-10 minutes, Wayne figures out he's not bleeding, he's not in too much pain, so he's like, well, let's go finish the show.
There's a trooper.
The
show must go on.
So he's a tough MF, man. So that just exemplified how much he loved to be on stage and playing songs, and so that but it's been cool. We've had like lots of moments like that. Where stuff just comes back.
And it's the anniversary of Wisconsin Death Trip, and we're here in Wisconsin, ironically. But and we talked about that. I remember we talked about this when the album was new. But why did it end up called that? Because it's a gripping album title.
Yeah.
You know?
Gripping book title, too.
Yeah.
That's where we got it from.
Yeah.
And it was a really cool book, and it just has this awesome ring to it, man. So we were like, yeah, why not?
Awesome stuff. Now, after this tour, what's coming? Because there sounds like there could be some music and some other things.
Yeah, there is music. We're working on. We're still working on the album Project Regeneration. It started out with these 5 demos that I received from an old producer friend of ours who got them from Wayne shortly before his passing. And only one of those songs had vocals on them, so the idea was to bring in all these guest vocalists
Who are friends and fans.
Some friends, and so that was the initial idea. But as we kept going, looking for stuff and trying to produce all this stuff, we found a lot of other extra material with Wayne's vocals on them. So we're at the point where the majority of the record will feature Wayne's vocals.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you're able to put that together and everything was able to come out okay for you. And continued pleasure to see you.
Likewise.
Many years. We're old rockers here. Tony, you're a good man. StaticX. We are backstage at Rockfest in Cadott, Wisconsin.